Hello, welcome to the sideboard here at Grand Prix New Jersey. I'm Nick Miller alongside two-time Grand Prix winner John Stern. How you doing today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good indeed. You are 6-0 with Maverick here, and in just a room full of Delver. We were waiting for the Maverick people to come out.
Yep.
We saw like 5 grinders winning lists with Maverick. So
oh, really?
I saw you playing this. I'm like, we need to get you in here, talk about this, why this is such a good deck for the current Legacy metagame.
I think it's basically the fact that Delver sort of is hating out some of the combo decks. There's a lot more Force of Wills in the metagame, and this is just a very good deck at beating the other fair decks.
Oh yeah.
So it's well positioned, I think.
So you've got the usual suite of taxing creatures, sort of like Death and Taxes with Thalia, Mother of Runes, and then you got the Stoneforge package, but you also got Deathrite Shaman, Tarmogoyf for some real big beaters, little disruption with swords. And then I like the 2 Pride Mage here to just blow up random stuff. Yeah,
I mean it hits equipment. It can kill counterbalance. A lot of targets.
You've got the Green Sun Zenith, can get you all your special things. Scavenging Ooze a 1-of. Gaddock Teeg's great in the Treasure Cruise metagame.
It's really important. Yeah.
What drew you to this kind of deck?
Well, I think it's well positioned against Delver, and I think that the decks that are traditionally good against Maverick are being played a little less. I was down in Florida. I was testing a bit with Jay Lansdale and Ben Stark. Ben was really high on Deathrite, and I think it's a great call, so I worked on it a bit.
How much Legacy do you normally get to play?
It's not a format that I keep up to date with, but it's a really fun format. So I tested for the past week and a half. And I follow, the Star City Opens and stuff like that.
Are there any inclusions you make to the deck this weekend that might not normally see, or that you thought specifically were great for this weekend?
The biggest change I made to the list you'll find online is the addition of Tarmogoyf. Traditionally, Maverick is, I think, more of a disruptive deck. But just because everything in the Delver deck, it's all Fork Bolts and Lightning Bolts, and it's actually really difficult to remove a Tarmogoyf in the metagame. And even with Treasure Cruise exiling Graveyard, the graveyard is always being filled up, and it's always huge and really fast. So that's the big change I made. The only other change, I added the Batter Skull instead of some of the other weapons like Sword of Fire and Ice or Sword of Life and Shadow. I just felt like it gives you inevitability in some matchups where it's a bit of an attrition war. But other than that, it's more or less standard, I think.
Yeah, in a room where a lot of people are trying to get through with Swift Spheres and Pyromancer tokens and stuff, Tarmogoyf just seems really good.
Yep.
And with like the Timor Delver decks going away, Tarmogoyf hasn't really had a home, and it looks really good in this shell. It was very great for you against your Blue-Red Delver last opponent. I got to watch last round.
No, Tarmogoyf has won me. I played against Delver twice. It was great in both matches. He had a Cursed Totem in one game, and like none of my creatures do anything, but I still have a 4/5. So I think it's also the because Rug Delver or Timor Delver is sort of fallen off the wayside. There aren't really any submerges in the metagame, so kind of maybe it's a time for it to come back, but I've been really happy with them.
You've got Knight of the Reliquary as like your big, even bigger than Tarmogoyf at times creature, and the tricks that creature allows you to play with like your 1-of lands. You've got your Horizon Canopy, your Crocus that can just do all kinds of stuff, wastelands.
What I found, like I cut a lot of the tricky lands, like I was thinking of playing Tower of the Magistrate, and I just didn't have space for it. A 5/5 that attacks every turn is pretty strong in the format, so usually I'm just attacking with it. If I'm tutoring, it's usually for Wasteland to get them locked with Thalian play or something like that. Dried Arbor is also great with Green Sun, so works there too. I haven't really searched for a Canopy that often or Caracas, but they both have their uses obviously in certain situations.
Just Crackus and Thalia alone can allow you to get past a lot of the Miracles decks.
Yeah, Thalia's, great against the Delver deck too. So
you've got the 4 of Wasteland, where like the Delver decks are kind of shying away from Wasteland. You're really embracing it in the taxing style deck.
And they're playing 16 lands, so it's not unheard of for them to have a Volcanic as their only land. They ponder, don't find another land, and I wasteland them, and it's game over. It doesn't happen that often because they have a lot of cantrips, but the possibility's there. And it's really good against any of the 3-color decks.
Right. Well, the deck looks very solid. Let's move on to the sideboard here. You've got just a full suite of Thoughtseizes. Combo matchups, you kind of need those.
Combo matchups, and also I'm bringing in against Stoneforge decks just to pull the equipment after they you know, I can't kill every creature they play. I don't have enough removal. So if I can get the Batterskull out of their hand or the Jitte, then Yeah, I mean, it's been good.
So more of a bait and switch. You kind of wait for them to tutor up, then you grab the equipment.
Yep.
You got 3 Zealous Persecution. Seems great with all the Pyromancer tokens running around. True Name Nemesis.
Yeah, so I boarded it in for every matchup so far. It's whenever I cast it, it's really good. It also sometimes helps me dodge things like Pyroclasm, but it's not really what it's there for. But yeah, it's been solid.
You've got 2 Abrupt Decays, just answers.
Yeah, they were my last additions. Really, I wanted a card that could bring in a lot of matchups. I mean, it's good against counterbalance, kills like Jitte. It's just a solid card.
Okay. You've got 2 of the new hotness, Containment Priests, which is a card that a lot of people have been putting even in like their Stoneblade decks and Death and Taxes, but seems fine in this shell.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really strong card in Death and Taxes with Flicker Wisp. It's probably the best thing I can do against decks like Show and Tell, even if they're played a little less right now. And I really like it against Elves also, so it deserves its spot, I think.
Okay. And then you got another Gadok Teague.
A few more 1-ofs, yeah.
You've got another Jitte. Explain the reasoning behind a second Jitte.
With the Delver matchup, if you have a Jitte in play, it's basically the game's over. So after side, they often bring in at least 1 artifact removal spell, and just you spend so much mana investment in getting the Jitte in play that if they smash the Smithereens, you're just like, and Batterskull just seems too slow if they can kill your Stoneforge. So I actually been boarding out the Batterskull, bringing a second Jitte, and I just land that and win with that. It's been good.
And then of course, a Sylvan Library, just sometimes you need to dig deep.
Any slow mid-range deck that doesn't apply a lot of pressure, it's just a very good card.
All right, well the deck looks sweet. We've been on the lookout for people playing Maverick.
Yeah.
Finally found one. You're 6-0, so you're off to a great start.
Yep.
Wish you the best of luck the rest of the way here.
All right, thanks.
Stay tuned to StarCityGames.com all weekend long for all the action here at Grand Prix New Jersey.